The Arizona Cardinals just fired a warning shot at the entire league, and most people missed the sound. Front office moves that looked routine on paper are quietly building a roster ready to detonate. When you drop a quarterback with playoff scars, a rookie receiver already called a future superstar, and a pass rush ace whose 43 sacks since 2019 eclipse anything Arizona has seen in that span, you are no longer a feel-good story. You are a looming problem. The shocking part is how quickly each piece is sinking. Kyler Murray looks fully unlocked, rolling out with a surgically repaired calm and flinging darts to Marvin Harrison Jr., who turned 62 catches and 8 touchdowns as a rookie into pure fuel for year 2. Josh Sweat has slipped straight into the defensive huddle, barking calls that travel faster than the snap count. Opponents who studied last season's tape are already scrambling, because this playbook just updated while they were sleeping. But here is the twist nobody is talking about. The one that will decide if Arizona jumps from 8 wins to double digits. Everything starts with the ground game that quietly ranked 7th in rushing yards last season, and the Cardinals just added fresh legs behind James Conner to keep that engine roaring. How does a franchise maintain breakneck speed while staying unpredictable on every down? That mystery sits in the backfield, and unlocking it is where our story heads next. But before we get into that, hit that like and subscribe button for more Cardinals and all the NFL content. Let's aim for 500 likes on this video. Arizona's offense didn't just survive last season, it punished defenses with a ground attack that nobody saw coming. While most teams were leaning into flashy aerial schemes, the Cardinals quietly bulldozed their way to a top-tier rushing identity. They averaged 144.2 rushing yards per game, placing them 7th in the league, and that wasn't a one-man effort. It was built on vision, power, and a relentless commitment to controlling the clock. James Conner was at the center of it all, posting a 90.6 PFF rushing grade, which ranked him 6th among all running backs. But even as he dominated, the team was already preparing for what comes next. Here's where things get smarter. Arizona didn't wait for James Conner to slow down. They drafted Trey Benson out of Florida State with a plan. He's not a replacement, he's an insurance policy with upside. Benson runs with burst and balance, a downhill style that fits perfectly into their offensive DNA. This is how smart teams operate. They build forward, not backward. Conner might still be the lead back today, but Arizona is clearly shaping a system where fresh legs and offensive versatility make them even more dangerous late in games. What nobody's asking yet is how this shift in the backfield impacts the rest of the offense. Because if Arizona can keep defenses guessing on every snap, balancing veteran patience with rookie explosiveness, then everything around Kyler Murray starts to open up. And when your quarterback is already this dynamic, giving him a run game that demands respect might be the most underrated move of the offseason. But Murray is a story of his own, and next, we break down why his 2025 season might carry more weight than ever before. Kyler Murray has never been more important to the future of the Arizona Cardinals than he is right now. After years of questions about his durability, leadership, and long-term fit, the noise is starting to fade, and what's left is a quarterback who still has the tools to dominate. He's just 28 years old, already has a playoff appearance under his belt, and when healthy, he can completely take over a game. He's not flashy for the sake of it. He's efficient, calculated, and capable of turning a broken play into a 25-yard gain. In a league full of big arms and even bigger hype, Kyler is the one guy quietly proving he's still got top-tier upside. But here's where things get serious. Arizona's front office has made it clear that this is a make-or-break window for everyone, including the quarterback. The coaching staff stayed stable for a reason. They want to give Kyler consistency, but the offensive coordinator Drew Petzing is under real pressure. If this offense stalls in the red zone or comes out flat in key matchups, heads could roll. That tension trickles down to Kyler, who knows that even above-average play won't be enough. He needs to deliver wins, not just highlights. And there's something else. Contract structure. The way Murray's deal is set up gives the Cardinals the flexibility to make a major move if this season doesn't go right. That adds real urgency. Every throw matters. Every drive will be judged. This isn't just another year to see what Kyler can do. It's the year Arizona finds out if they're building around him or planning to start over. And if the offense hinges on his performance, then his connection to the receivers becomes the next big question, especially when one of them might be the future face of the franchise. Marvin Harrison Jr. turned 62 catches into 885 yards and 8 touchdowns last season, yet critics keep circling his 53.4 catch rate like vultures. What they ignore is how many of those targets came on low-percentage deep shots that stretched the field and cleared room for everyone else. Over the spring, he added visible muscle, widened his release package, and attacked the jugs machine until his fingers ached. Every report out of camp says the timing with Kyler Murray looks cleaner, sharper, almost rehearsed, which should terrify corners already struggling to match his stride length. Across from him stands Michael Wilson, no longer the quiet rookie the league slept on. Coaches praise his expanded route tree and stronger hand fighting, proof the offseason weight program did its job. The bigger story hides in the trenches, because an open competition at right guard will decide whether Murray has the extra half second to locate both wideouts on option routes. A more stable pocket means Wilson's sharp cuts can turn timing throws into chain-moving daggers, while Harrison's double moves keep safeties frozen in place. All that firepower sounds unstoppable, yet football never lets one side of the ball win titles alone. Arizona still carries scars on defense, especially against the run, and any crack in that armor could neutralize the offensive fireworks in a heartbeat. Which hidden weakness poses the biggest threat to their 10-win dream? That answer waits just beneath the surface, ready to flip optimism into urgency. For all the progress Arizona has made, there's still a quiet issue threatening to undo everything: the run defense. Last season, opponents exposed this weakness again and again, especially in late-game situations when the Cardinals needed just one stop. Missed tackles, poor gap discipline, and inconsistent interior push allowed too many drives to stay alive. It didn't matter how explosive the offense looked when the defense gave up chunks of yards on the ground. It wasn't just a bad stat line, it was a momentum killer. Even more concerning is how that weakness overlaps with the passing game's inconsistencies. There were stretches where Kyler and his weapons looked dangerous, but then came the stalled drives, 3-and-outs, and wasted field position. Arizona's roster was ranked 19th heading into 2025, and that number tells a story. They're close, but they're not complete. Teams that hover in that middle tier often collapse under pressure because one or two lingering flaws get exposed when it matters most. That's why this season can't rely on offensive fireworks alone. Arizona needs a defense that finishes drives with violence, not one that bends until it breaks. The good news? The front office didn't just hope for internal growth. They brought in reinforcements designed to shift this identity from soft to serious. Next, we take a closer look at how year 2 under Jonathan Gannon could become the turning point the defense has been waiting for. Jonathan Gannon has thrown away the beginner's manual and is now scripting pressure schemes that feel like magic tricks. He moves linebackers just enough to trigger false reads, sends delayed slot corners, then drops a nose tackle into coverage the very next snap. Quarterbacks who thought they understood his tendencies are discovering that last year's tape is already out of date. Practices have turned into controlled chaos, with blaring music, rapid rotations, and a stopwatch on every rep to ingrain urgency. The talent infusion makes those designs more lethal. Josh Sweat brings veteran edge power, Walter Nolan arrives as a rookie wrecking ball in the middle, and Will Johnson gives the secondary a sticky man cover specialist. Their combined speed shrinks play clocks in real time, forcing hurried throws and allowing safeties to gamble without fear. Early scrimmages show a dramatic jump in pass rush win rate, the very metric that doomed Arizona in too many close losses. But the true shift is cultural. Gannon has players running back to the huddle instead of jogging. Film sessions stop only when every mistake is rewound twice, and walkthroughs feel like live snaps. It is discipline without the dull parts, and it has already cut mental errors in half according to internal charting. Still, these improvements did not happen in a vacuum. The front office spent months stacking contracts, manipulating cap space, and timing signings with precision. So here's the question that counts. What's your final win prediction for this team? And more importantly, who's the one player you think will flip a close game into a Cardinals win this season? Drop your answers in the comments. Like the video if you want more deep breakdowns like this, and make sure you're subscribed. The smartest teams don't always start loud, but when they figure it out, everyone hears them.